So what is up, Africana fam? It's your girl Young Africana back at it again with another video. Today I'll be showing you guys how to become an Instagram Baddie, you guys. If you guys are enjoying how I look so far, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and comment some purple hearts for my Africana OGs. But if you guys want to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. So step one of being a IG baddies is you have to have the confidence, you guys, with the makeup or without the makeup, you guys. I already know I look like a baddie with or without it. So you gotta feel it. You have to feel the baddie in you before you become the baddie, you guys. And we also have to give ourselves some words of affirmation and just pray about confidence to gain our confidence. And this is how you start off with being an IG baddie, you guys. Alright, now next step is onto the wig. This wig is sponsored by UNice Hair. I have 3 bundles. I have two 28s and a 26 inch, and then a 22 inch 5x5 HD lace closure. So as you guys can see, I already went ahead and made it into a wig, and I'm just gonna go ahead and part my part. We're going for a middle part because I feel like baddies wear middle parts, and we're gonna use our Care wax stick and then my hot comb on the hottest setting, and I'm just gonna go ahead and press down that lace closure because we want it to be flat as possible. This is the texture of this hair is their curly texture, and I just want to make sure it's flat up top because I love big hair, but I like my top to be flat regardless. Now what I'm doing is I'm just parting a horizontal part in the back of the hair just to cover up the tracks in the back. And I'm going to use my Care wax stick and then my hot comb just to press that down. And boom, the tracks is covered, y'all. Alright, now I'm using my scissors to cut a slit, and then I'll be using my eyebrow razor just to cut the lace. You want to make sure that you're cutting the lace as close as possible because baddies' laces is always laid. So in order for you to have a laid lace, you need to make sure that it doesn't look lacy or it doesn't look wiggy. So cut off as much lace as possible, you guys. It's supposed to look natural. Now when it comes to the little perforated parts of the closure, I like to cut that off just because it's visible and it's not cute. So I just want to cut that off so it looks as natural as possible. Now, to be honest, I could have worn this unit glueless, but you know, I was being extra and I was thinking, to glue or not to glue? We're going to glue. Anyways, I'll be using my 91% alcohol and I'm using a cotton pad. I'm going to rub down my forehead so all the ducts and oils on my forehead are removed. Then I'll be going into my Erica J Skin Guard and letting that dry, and then I'll be going into the Erica J Hold Me Down adhesive. This is a watermelon kind, both the Skin Guard and the adhesive. And right now what I do is I have my hair kind of placed at the part where I want it at, and you know, my lace is cut, so I'm just kind of outlining where my glue is supposed to be at, and then I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of the glue and push the wig back. And this helped me because usually I would just lift up the lace, but this wig was super snug and I got a big old head, so I had to, you know, improvise and do the outline and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 layers of this glue. I'm using my rat tail comb to just smear out that glue because I feel like it smears it out the best in my personal opinion. And yeah, you just want to make sure that each layer dries completely clear before you apply your next layer. And again, like I said, I used 2 layers. After that second layer was dried, I went ahead and lifted up the wig. As you guys can see, I was struggling because that wig was super snug. And I'm just going to go ahead and place the wig right in front of the glue, right in front, right in front. You don't want it exactly on the glue because sometimes you will still have that glue residue in the front, and it is extremely hard to clean off glue, y'all, especially when you just freshly applied it. So I'm just, you know, trying to put it on, and now I got it on, and I'm gonna just press it down just so that it's nice and stuck and adhered to you know, the lace. Now again, I like to call this part detailing. I'm gonna go ahead and detail, and I'm gonna apply some of the glue with the spots of like the lace that I missed, just so that everything is nice. You want to make sure that there is no lace sticking up at all. Like, this is a very tedious process, okay? But after that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, take out my baby hair. I usually just like to take a horizontal row out, and not too much hair. You don't want the hair to be too thick because you don't want thick baby hairs. Well, at least I don't want thick baby hairs. So I took a good amount. Now I'll be using my hot comb. Just to press down my baby hair so it's nice and flat, and we're going to train those baby hairs. And now onto the melting. I'm actually going in with my Spritz Ultra Hold spray, and I actually like how this melted my lace a little bit better than the Gots to Be glued. I seen I'ma Slay Your Bae use Spritz, so I wanted to just try it out just to see, and I actually liked it a lot better, you guys. And now back to the hot combing. I'm just going to go ahead and hot comb my hairline so it's nice and flat. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my elastic band, and I'm going to let that sit until I finish wetting the hair. And now what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and work in sections to wet the hair. This hair was a bit difficult wetting it, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's because it was super curly or thick, but yeah, it took some time for your girl to you know, comb out this hair, and the hair did shed a bit. I mean, but that's curly hair, it's expected. Especially with tighter textures and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wet my hair, and then I'm using my OGX coconut conditioner, and I'm just applying that too, just to help define the curls. And then when I'm combing out the curls, I like to use my weave brush just to brush out that hair and then define the ends of the curls. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do that throughout the entire hair. Now I like to use my Garnier Fructis frizz serum, and I'm just applying that through the hair so like the hair doesn't get super big and frizzy, and you know, you know, I want the hair to be big, but I don't want it to be frizzy big, if you get what I'm trying to say. Alright, so like 30 minutes later, we're finally done, and now I'm going to go ahead and take off my elastic band, and as y'all can see, that lace is Chef's kiss, melted, you guys. It is melted, mamita. We are looking laid and slayed, okay? But you know me, being perfectionist, I gotta fix it up, you know, do a little tweaky, little onesie twosies, you feel me? And I'm just gonna go ahead and just hot comb the back, just so everything is nice and laid. But now onto the baby hairs. I'm gonna go ahead and use my eyebrow razor and cut my baby hairs. The middle part, or the middle section of the baby hairs, I want that part to be the shortest and then the sides to be the longest. I like the aesthetic of that kind of baby hairs, you know. So yeah. Now I'm going in with my Nairobi setting lotion, and I'm just going to apply that on my hairline and my baby hairs, and we're going to form these baby hairs. And I like to use my rat tail comb to form my baby hairs, just because I feel like the edges of the combs aren't as sharp as the baby hair comb, and it's easier for me to be light-handed and, you know, form my baby hairs with them. That's just my personal preference though. And on to the makeup. So I already have my brows already done, and now for my eyeshadow base, I like to go into my contour stick or my foundation stick from Juvia's Place, and this is in the color Congo. And I'm gonna use this small buffer brushes to buff out that base, and then I'm gonna top that base with my Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami bronzer. I just love this combo. Like, brown eyeshadow just really gives, like, you know, natural makeup an extra pop, you know. And then I'm just going to go ahead and diffuse up top with the same Mocha Mami. Alright, now onto eyeliner. I like to use my Essence eyeliner in the color matte black. And I'm just going to go ahead and do my little baby wings. Y'all know I love my baby wings, y'all. Like, I think baby wings is just, it's fire, you know. It doesn't do too much, but it just gives a little emphasis on your eyes, you know. Now onto priming my face. I like to use my Milk Hydro Primer, and I'm going to apply that all over my face and let that dry on my face until it gets tacky. And then I'll be using my Dior Forever concealer in the cover 7N as like my color corrector. I noticed that I have like dark spots and like kind of like lines on my nose, so I kind of wanted to conceal that and see how that worked for me, and it worked beautifully. So I will be doing that and applying that to my everyday natural you know, foundation routine. So yeah, I'm just using my damp beauty blender just to blend that out. And now onto foundation. I am using my Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation in the color Lava Cake, and I'm applying that all over my face, and I really do enjoy this foundation. It's full coverage. I don't get oily, and yeah, this is definitely probably like one of my new holy grails. I really like this foundation and the coverage by itself. And I'm just using my Real Techniques Instapop buffer brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and buff that, and then I'm gonna use a smaller buffer brush from Morphe just to buff out like my forehead, because my forehead is clearly smaller than the rest of my face. For concealer, I'll be using my Tarte Shape Tape in the color Rich. And we're going to go ahead and apply that around like my T-zone areas, and it's all the places that I want to be highlighted. And then back in with my foundation stick from Juvia's Place in the color Congo. I'm going to use that to contour my face. And I like to go into my Urban Decay All Nighter spray just to rezhuzh my face, because I like to dry out my concealer before I blend it out, just so I have a nice opaque look. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use like my foundation brush just to buff out the edges of my concealer so it blends in seamlessly with my foundation. And then right now what I'm doing is I'm using my smaller Instapot brush and I am diffusing my contour. And then I'm using my small buffer brush from Morphe, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just you know, buff out that concealer part on my nose. And then using this Ulta Beauty buffer brush, and I'm gonna buff out my forehead. And now as for my nose contour, I'm using this small buffer brush from Morphe, and I'm just gonna go ahead and buff out that contour on my nose. And last but not least, I like to save the eyes for last. I'm going to be using my Ulta Beauty brush just to buff out my concealer underneath my eyes. And now on to powder. I am using my Laura Mercier powder in the color Medium Deep, and I'll be applying that around the areas that I had highlighted. Then I'll be using my Morphe AR contour palette, and I'm using that dark shade, the darkest shade in there, and I'll be using that as my contour. And now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead back into my foundation brush and just buff out and, you know, just kind of pat in the powder around my face. And now I'm going to teach you guys a new trick that I learned. It was either off of Instagram or TikTok. So what I'm doing right now is for my lower lashes, because, you know, Instagram baddies, we have long lashes and stuff. And this is a little hack. What I like to do is use my tweezers, and then I'm using a mascara. My mascara is from Essence. It's Essence mascara. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply that on my tweezers and then gently grab on my lashes. And as you guys can see, my lashes are looking full and long. I feel like sometimes mascara doesn't really get at like the tips of, like, you know, or like the root of your lashes and stuff. So like it doesn't make it look as long. But as y'all can see, it just looks beautiful. But now on to like my Aaliyah J cat wing. I like to do that, and I'm just using my eyeliner. And now on to blush. I'm going into my Saharan blush palette 2, and I'm using the color Neo as my blush. I just love blush. Blush just gives more life to your face. And now for lashes, you guys, I'm using my I Envy lashes in the style 11, and I'm using my dual lash glue. It's the green one, the green bottle one. And I'm gonna apply the lash glue on my lash line. And no, this does not take out your eyelashes, you guys. I still have lashes, and I do this all the time. And then I'm just using my mascara just to help take out the glue that got onto my lashes. And then I'll be using my tweezers and apply the lashes. And to be an Instagram baddie, you gotta have the big va va voom lashes. Like, if you trying to use baby lashes, I mean, you could still be a baddie, but I don't think you're gonna be an IG baddie, you know. Like big lashes automatically, like boom. Like y'all see that? Come on, y'all see that? Y'all definitely see that. Anyways, big lashes. Get yourself some big lashes. And I got them from the beauty supply store. But now on to setting our face. I would like to use my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. And then I'm using my foundation, my foundation brush just to pat it in. Now on to the lips, y'all. On to the lips. I'm using my black Italia lip liner, and I'm gonna top that with my burgundy lip liner. These are both Amazon brands. I just got off of Amazon. It's called Italia, and yeah, I'm just applying that as my lip liner. And then I'll be using my NYX Butter Gloss in the color Tiramisu. And like this is just the perfect combo, you guys. Y'all see like the natural gradient from the black to the red to the lip gloss. Chef's kiss, you guys, chef's kiss. Now to top it off, I'm using my lip gloss from Juvia's Place. This is the clear lip gloss. I was gonna top that just to give myself some extra juice. And we are finished with this look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learn how to be an Instagram baddie. Feel me? Like we are looking ravishing, and you guys learn how to be an Instagram baddie within the same day. Like come on, y'all. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you have not, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.